Hang on, Letterbox Larry caught lacking this morning. Letterboxd.com. I would like to log a movie. And when I say log, pun intended. Because the movie I finished this morning, Underwater 2020, directed by William Eubank, I'm going to give this a 2-star and no heart. And I'm going to save it. It's true. Kristen Stewart, TJ Miller, Vincent Cassell, and Mamadou Athey, also known as the archivist from Archive 81. I enjoy a little pseudo-science fiction creature feature. I have to say I thought this one was a good degree underwhelming. Nothing against Kristen Stewart. The rest of the cast pretty underwhelming. Well, varying from underwhelming to TJ Miller, who I would call aggressively annoying. Also, I'm not going to necessarily blame this on the filmmakers because I'm sure they didn't expect it to be watched on a Peloton screen. But in any scene where they were not inside, so like 30% of the movie, I just could not see what was happening at all. It was like the Siege of the North on the last season of Game of Thrones. It was like, I just don't know what's happening. Also, I don't want to, I mean, this is the kind of movie you probably don't need a spoiler for. If I told you the premise, you would probably be able to figure out beat for beat what's going to happen in the film. And that's fine. There's something nice about routine from time to time. Not every movie has to like subvert your expectations. But like I kind of, at the end of the movie, I was like, why am I rooting for this? The monsters didn't do anything wrong, bro. They're literally just fucking chilling down there. And I'm supposed to be like, yeah! Get him! The fish didn't even do anything, bro. He's literally just existing. I thought it was going to be something spiritual. Like she was going to give herself up to the monster and be like, okay, you know, like this is what we get. But instead she was like, no, mankind stays winning. Also, people keep saying it was Cthulhu. It was not Cthulhu. There was no fucking purple, interdimensional, indecipherable shapes. It was just a big, Albert Finney-style big fish. There's no Cthulhu. It just had tentacles. You wish it was Cthulhu. That would be a little bit more interesting. It was just a large guy. Put it up against the Meg. It beats the shit out of the Meg, no disrespect. My personal opinion, the Meg, not necessarily a beloved movie, but one of the most over-liked movies of the last 10 years. The movie is cynical CCP propaganda. There's a simple rule. Any movie starring Rainn Wilson has no shot. I like Rainn Wilson on The Office, and Super has its moments, but he's kind of like the TJ Miller of nerds. Juno? It's a supporting role. They caught lightning in a bottle on that one, okay? The Rocker? I said what I said. Also, I want to say before we get started, it's going to be very controversial. I did give The French Connection a 3 out of 5, and I did not give it the vaunted heart. Now, this is one of the most beloved movies possibly of all time. I'm not trying to undermine the cinematic significance of William Friedkin's The French Connection. What I would say is watching it for the first time in 2024, I think it's one of those like TV tropes, Seinfeld isn't funny things, where it probably was very influential in its day, but because I've seen so many things influenced by it, it seemed unoriginal to me, even though it probably broke new ground 53 years ago. Also, at first, when the movie ended, I was like, fuck this movie, bro. What is that ending? Then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? The fact that the ending is deliberately unsatisfying is actually, it ties in with the theme of Popeye Doyle having essentially just obsession for obsession's sake. Like, at no point is he like, I'm doing a noble thing. He's in too deep to pull himself out. So I think it's one of those things where I appreciated it on some level, but I will say when I watched it, I was like, this is dreadfully boring. But in the 1970s, I bet that shit was like an atom bomb. That's how I felt about Whiplash. Brother, that shit came out in like 2015. That shit came out in the modern era. That came out yesterday. You were in the 7th grade when it came out. The rest of us are in exactly the same spot that we were when that shit dropped, bro. That's how I felt about Nosferatu. I'll give you that one. That's how I feel about Duck Soup. And then people are like, it's funny. Oh, Bandle! Bandle! My mistake. Okay. 2004, 111 million views. This is Paralyzed by Finger 11. Back me up here, VIP Daniel. You can't hear it. That's right. Okay. There you go. Now you can hear it. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Oh, it's Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand. That is not a par 4. That's a par 2. Worst, I'm sorry, I have to stop this. Worst MIDI cover of all time. Actually an assault on the ears. What were they doing with that one, bro? Oh my god. Come on. Okay, I could do a... I own that album. Franz Ferdinand, self-titled. Crybaby. Some shit Johnny Depp's in that nobody would know. That's tough for me. I'm not a big Johnny Depp guy. He's not in that. How about this little movie you might have heard of called Pirates of the Caribbean, Tales of the Code, Wedlocked? What the hell is that, bro? Hello? Hello? I'm downstairs, honey. Are you okay? You could come downstairs and say hi to Daddy. Okay, honey, just come over here, please. Can you say hi?
Hi.
There you go.
If you can, you need to go to the advertisement to app and you can see what I would like with that number button.
Okay, I understand.
Can you see with the blue and white and A?
There's blue, white, and A?
Yeah.
But that's 2 colors and a letter.
But that's why you can print new apps out.
Isn't it crazy how she sounds perfectly fine now?
As soon as we called in sick to the daycare, she's like, psych!
She's not even coughing at all.
What are you looking at here, honey?
And then as I was trying to do dishes, she was like, Mommy, 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 Mommy. I was like, just let me do the dishes. And then she's like, Mommy.
She's very excited. She loves to talk. What's your favorite number block?
I don't know.
Let's go up.
But can you help me print out the new number button? It's in the app. What if I write
Okay, go up.
but accept me?
Don't worry, honey. We'll have lots of playtime.
But I want a number button.
She's been watching this BBC show called The Number Blocks, and it's actually taught her how to do math. And I'm not just saying this like to flex my kid, but it's crazy. Like you'll just be like, what's 4 times 4? And she'll be like, that's 5. And you're like, no, it's not 5. And then she's like, oh, it's 16. And I'm like, the hell did you just say? I'm like, you're not supposed to know that yet. Anybody else have their kids watching number blocks? 4 on the floor. Then you got 1 more 4. Now it's 4 or more. My kid dabbles. There's something about it. It's not us. I think we're doing a fine job of parenting. I think it's more like, you know how like Jesus and Mary were nothing special until they made that chain in Glasgow, but Jesus was like cracked? It's something like that maybe. Maybe everybody feels like that about their kids though. I didn't know, like I know the story of Christmas because you hear it like every year around December-ish. We went to a Christmas concert and in between pieces at the Christmas concert, the like I don't know the word, the reverend, the chaplain, the minister of the church where it was taking place. Hang on, I gotta cook you. What's your number? Read the story of Christmas. I had no idea that like Joseph and Mary were like kind of on the rocks when Mary was pregnant. And he was like, well, that doesn't seem possible given that you're like a chaste individual in my eyes. And then one night in a dream, an angel came to Joseph and was like, don't sweat it, that's God's child. I'm just saying, regardless of the validity of it whatsoever, we're going Tomcats on this one, you know that the next day, Mary was like, let's go. Let's fucking go! Whoo! I'm not even saying because she might have been like, whoo, he finally believes the truth. I'm just saying, you know that for her, that was like, thank, pun intended, I guess, thank God. I actually had a crazy dream last night. I already told Kate. I dreamt that I was in high school and I was in the drama department. We were doing a high school production of Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton. I swear to you, this is all true. It's my dream. So, of course, I was cast as Hamilton. And then it's the same theme as every other recurring dream. It was the opening night, and I was like, I think I forgot something. I think I forgot something. It turns out I did forget something. I didn't learn any of my lines or any of the songs. And it was like, you're on stage in 3 minutes. And I was like, oh shit, I got to improv this 2 hour and 45-minute long rap musical. And then the dream sort of ended. But I have to imagine the audience did not enjoy that one. All right, Memflix77, you're a gamer. I respect it. Me against the Peloton. I do this every day, bro. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Okay, so you're a strategy-based gamer. We respect that. You know shit about Emile Hirsch. You know shit about The Girl Next Door. From 2004, not the 2007 version. Mr. Nice. He's not in that one. Killer Joe. You know more shit about Emile Hirsch than I thought you would, quite frankly. What do you know about Alpha Dog? Emile Hirsch, Anton Yelchin. You skip me on that? Okay, you're going to skip me on that. I'm trying to think of where I would like to abandon you. You have no lifeline, so you're already dead. I'll take you to In Time, 2011. I didn't know Amanda Seyfried, Olivia Wilde, and Vincent Kartheiser were all in Alpha Dog. Hey, Anil, if we all pool in and send you money to buy a GPU, will you play something other than browser games? Hello, non-sub. There's only one way to find out. Our lines are open and awaiting your call. Megan Fox. Let's go with a little-known ditty called Transformers. The Bratz movie. Bratz Rock Angels? Okay. In that case, we'll go Anna. Well, no, we'll go Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. They still got some surprises in there. Hey, Silk_WD. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Just 32,000 more, and we will play the new Prince of Persia game. People are calling it in January. Potential surprise game of the year target. In December, they said, it's Baldur's Gate 3 DLC. They completely forgot about it. Thank you, Librarian, for the gifted subscriptions as well. Thank you. Buggy Nights. How about The Longest Yard? 1974. How delightfully devilish. Bro's trying to take me to Leatherheads or something. Enjoy it. And to you as well, Peloton, to you as well. Okay, we got to remove that from the game. That's parasocial. James Franco's not in this one. He was already canceled by the time they started production. Now, he is in this one. I'll give you that. Seth Rogen freaking kill shot. Not gonna happen. Not easy at least. How about a Long Shot? Some people don't know about this film, Long Shot. That's an awfully long shot. How about Charles Bronson Riley? Not me. Yesterday, I had my daughter at the mall, and she was giving me a hug, and in my Eminem voice, which is Chib's Eminem voice, that's an awfully snug daughter hug. That's an awfully snug daughter hug. What do you want to eat for lunch? Chicken nugs. What am I going to watch on the bike? The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Hello.
Whoa, that looks so cool.
Sit with me, and
You sit with me. I was sitting here. You come sit with me. Oh, you want to sit on my lap? Okay.
don't see.
Sure. Don't put it on my keyboard, though.
Don't see what they can do.
Okay. One and another. Super bad. Super bad. Where are we going with Danny McBride? Offers super bad. Probably take it to Alien Covenant. I think it's a little too easy.
Did you see that?
Oh my gosh, you're using number blobs to make number blocks? Shame. I have to play this one. What's that movie? It's called like, he has a mask on and he's playing a music festival all the time. I don't remember. It's called like Dave or something like that. But it's not Dave because that's Kevin Kline. It's called Michael, but that's John Travolta. I can't remember. You're making a number 9 with number blobs? Prometheus?
No, that's how you play the game.
Do you know any actors from Prometheus, honey?
You can also go to the alpha blocks. Alpha blocks are pretty good.
Numi Rapace is in this one, and she's also the original Swedish girl with the dragon tattoo. Noted. Oh, you can hear that, huh? No, other Numi Rapace movies. The girl who. One moment, please. Swedish.
Ooh.
I'm sorry to do this to you. I can't name an. Oh, Pig! She's in Pig! I could have known that she's in Pig. Good game, though. Good game. I forgot that she's in Pig. Hang on. We're not going to play another one just yet because we're doing some number block stuff right now. Can you spell taps, honey? It's taps. What letter does it sound like?
P.
Well, there's a P in it, but what letter does it start with? It starts with T, T, T. You got it. Taps. So what's the last letter if it ends in a S, like a snake? Yeah, that's the last letter, right? So what's the second letter then?
I don't know.
Taps. What letter makes a sound? And then if the last letter is S, the third letter must be P. You're absolutely right. You got to put it in the spot. There you go. It's quite a beat. T-a-p-s, t-a-p-s. It sounds like a drum set, right? Okay, Daddy's going to keep playing, okay? You can sit on my lap though. Just don't put the iPad on my keyboard because it'll mess with my screen. Are you trapped on the garbage can? Are you okay? Okay. Just hang out right there. Boiler Room. We can play with Boiler Room any day of the week. How about High Fidelity? Marissa Ribisi. Marissa's not in this one. Okay, how about Giovanni Ribisi? How about Gone in 60 Seconds? I'm usually the dude playing... That's not right. That's not right. It had Giovanni Ribisi is in Boiler Room, and he's in Gone in... He's the little brother at Gone in 60 Seconds. What's going on here, bro? Oh, I clicked 1974 like a son of a gun. She's laughing at me. They're all gonna laugh at you. Hey, Yeti Johnson, your gameplay makes no sense. Good game. You run out of ChatGPT tickets for this year? Maybe upgrade to the silver subscription. Yes, honey. I want to play too. From Nope, let's go to Get Out.
Playing on the ground?
She is, but if she starts playing these Pink Fong songs, I got to go radio silent pretty quick. I don't want to get Ludwigged.
Oh no, what happened to Ludwig?
The first YouTube stream he ever did, he played Baby Shark, and his channel got nuked in like 0.25 seconds.
Oh my god. All right, girl, let's go up. Let's go up.
Here, can you go up with mommy? Daddy will come up and play with you a little later today.
Here. Let's go up.
Marley and me? Good girl. I'm a lifeline down here. Tremors 5 is a good Michael Gross kill shot. Yeah, but who the F is Michael Gross? Or as my accountant calls him, Michael Net. Moneyball 2011. I mean, we could Chris Pratt you with the best of them. This is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I saw Shape of Water on a plane, and this guy kept trying to talk to his wife who was beside me during the sex scene, so I just stared right at the screen. How did you end up in the middle of a couple on an airplane? Have they just been married so long that they were like, I want the aisle, I want the window, and they refused to compromise? No, the guy had to walk over every time? They weren't even in the same row? Nope. They weren't in the same row. You fly an Air Canada Jazz where you got to pay like $75 to choose your seat? It was Air Canada. You know, we bought some tickets on WestJet. You know that they've introduced a new... They've soft launched. Now when you buy a plane ticket on WestJet, which is like our other air carrier. Sorry, I got two movies mixed up here. It's hard to play and build a bit of banter at the same time. Basically, if you buy the cheapest possible ticket, they don't let you pick a seat anymore, and they don't let you cancel. It's like they pulled two basic things out and said, okay, fuckers, we're creating like a shit level purchase. Now you got to pay extra just to get like what you used to get for free. It's crazy, bro. And then the one level up doesn't give you a checked bag still. You got to go like gold to get a checked bag. But the bronze level was basically like, we can verbally abuse you when you get on the airplane. You might have to sit in the cargo hold. If you have to change your ticket, you have to pay like full price for the new ticket. You can't just pay like a rescheduling charge or something like that. No disrespect, Amanda Bynes. Some people would pay extra for that. I just bring a backpack, no need for checked bags. Me when I was 21 years old. Why doesn't the family of 2 adults, 3 kids, and 2 grandparents just bring a backpack? It would save them 10 minutes at the airport. I got the world all figured out. Bro, because they got grandpa's CPAP machine. The kids each have like their own potty that they got to bring. They're going snowboarding. They need books. They need toys. They got greater cargo demands, man. What is the percent in the bottom right? That's the amount of oxygen left on your spacesuit. Bro, you got to get to the airlock. You're going to die. Kevin Hart wearing a spacesuit. Hang on, let me think about this for a second. Kevin Hart wearing a spacesuit. We're underwater, motherfucker. You need something that can sustain 300 G's of pressure. We going subterranean in this bitch. Sorry, it needs a lot more work. Like, we're not even close on that one. There's plenty of oxygen underwater. Okay, you glib so-and-so. dlguiga, this is how I know your kid is not born yet. Not yet. I remember, like, the week or two before we had our daughter, I was just fucking chilling on the couch playing Fall Guys. There's really nothing you could do. You painted the nursery, you built the crib, you got everything set up, you know. You're reading the baby books, but every single baby book is basically just like, you know, don't worry, but also like never do this thing that you might have done because the baby will explode. Like you're just kind of waiting around. I'm 20 movies and 5 books deep. You never thought about just mindlessly playing like 400 games of Fall Guys? Probably should have just read some books. You really believe dlguiga is married with a kid on the way? Bro, it would be so depressing if it was all made up. I would lose my mind, man. If it's all an act, you're not like a finance guy from Chicago with a wife and a child on the way, and you're just like some dude. Oh, yeah, you're like a 15-year-old kid from Boise or something. Oh, man. Fruitvale Station. Wakanda Forever. He's in that one, huh? Creed? Wait, does this... sorry to bother you? Okay, cast me. I've seen Fruitvale Station, but it was a long time ago. This shit got Chad Michael Murray in it? It's got Kevin Durant in it? You see the Kevin Durant tweet that said, Scarlett Johansson, I will drink your bathwater? That was my... I don't award this lightly. My tweet of the month, open parentheses, makes you think edition, close parentheses. Bro, this shit has Paris Hilton in it. Come on, let's not embarrass ourselves. That my tweet of the month was, there used to be an era in the early 2010s where celebrities would really be on here just posting what they actually thought, and it sucks that we lost it. And it had like all the image of all the like famous people tweets when they still handled their own Twitter account. The 50 Cent one that's like, bro, why my grandma asked me to take the garbage out? Fuck this, I'm rich. Like that. That's really good, man. 50, take the garbage out, or grandma will have to do it again. You know, a little Neon Genesis Evangelion. Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Then we're going to play something else just because we have to at this point. Cine 2 Nerdle today. We went 17 wins, 2 losses. Sorry, 2 draws, 4 losses. 17-4 with 2 draws. Pretty good, pretty good. I'll see you in like 2 minutes. I was in not Chibley's chat. I was in Apollo's chat after 2 hours of just chatting, which was literally, I couldn't believe it. I don't know if he's in chat right now. I'm not hating on it. I was in the chat the whole time. He asked chat what to get from DoorDash, ordered it. 30 minutes later was like, where's my DoorDash? 15 minutes later, he's like, my DoorDash is here. Ripped open the bag, ate that shit. The overlay did not change a single time. So I typed in chat, play some fucking games, England. And then he said, play some games? What do you want me to play? And I said, I didn't say play some games. I said, play some fucking games, England. I just checked. Apollo really does have an 11-hour just chatting VOD, huh? I told you. I'm telling no lies. When your lips are chapped as fuck and then that first sip of Coke Zero touches them, oh, baby. The caffeine right into my bloodstream. I guess that's the way it normally works, huh? Yeah, I think so. Can I tell you something? Any Canadians in the chat right now? I had the honor, nay, the privilege of dining at the Keg last night. I was talking about it with Kate. Is the Keg the last Canadian chain restaurant standing in the give a fuck war. I really think that like every other Canadian restaurant that's become franchised and turned into a chain, everyone's like, yeah, well, it used to be better when there were only 2 locations in Etobicoke, but now that they've gone like national, it's garbage. The Keg is still hanging in there. I had a fantastic steak. The bread was delicious. It was good. Kelsey's, if you ask my dad. Okay, listen, I'm not trying to put your dad on blast. I went to Kelsey's maybe like 5 years ago because I was having dinner with my parents and my grandma, and my grandma's got an unsophisticated palate. I was flabbergasted when I opened the Kelsey's menu, and there were literally like 400 different variants of hamburger on the menu. And it's not like a restaurant that's like a hamburger restaurant. It's just like a casual dining restaurant. But there were I think I got like the Nashville hot chicken sandwich or something like that. And when I ordered it, the dude was like, which one? I had to open up the menu again and be like, this one? And he's like, oh, okay, the Cajun Nashville. Like it had like 17 different variants on the name. It was like, a piece of loot in Diablo 4. I'm pretty sure they just had to know like what bin to open up to get out like a bag and then put the bag into the microwave and then slide that stuff on top of a bun. It was still pretty good though. It's a sandwich. What can you say? But fantastic steaks, and where to find them? I'll tell you where to find them, at the Keg. This is not a sponsored video. I've dined at the Keg 2 times in the last 5 years. I left the establishment thinking to myself, that was worth our time. That was worth our time and our money. I think I'm done with red meat. I'm always done with red meat, except when I'm at a steakhouse. I'm a big believer that beef is a little bit overrated. But if you're at a steakhouse, I'm not going to say you got to have a steak. I don't know your dietary concerns. If you're at a steakhouse, it's my position that you should order a steak. You don't go to a steakhouse all that often if you value your cardiac well-being. Definitely as a younger man, I would be the guy who would go to a steakhouse and be like, this steak is really expensive. Instead, I'll just have the chicken dish that's like proportionally equally expensive, but not quite as absolutely expensive as the steak. The way you win at a steakhouse is accepting that it's going to be expensive. Save your money elsewhere, or don't go to the steakhouse and get a decent steak. You don't have to get, the best steak on the menu. But at least, if you're already there, it's like live a little, What'd you get? I got the 20-ounce rib steak, bone in, cooked medium rare. I thought about getting it Chicago style, but then I was like, am I just ordering it Chicago style to sound like a cool guy? Chicago style apparently is when it's charred on the outside and then cooked to your desired doneness on the inside. I was like, that would taste pretty good, but I didn't feel like I was the guy who could be like, yeah, let me get the rib steak, medium rare, and can you drag it through the garden for me? Put a little bit of poop on top. Grow up. Controversial take. The dude from What's My Age Again should have been acting his age. He was doing some immature stuff. I mean, turning on the TV while he's fooling around a little bit, that's like between you and whoever you're fooling around with. I've seen videos where my own content's in the background, and I'm like, brother, leave me out of this. I didn't ask for that. Right, Chibli? But he definitely should not have called that lady's husband, or that lady, and said, the state looks down on sodomy. And that's about the time that hung up on me. That's just not cool. Like a prank call is one thing, is your refrigerator running? But there's multiple reasons that that's not based. I don't think I need to get into all of them. Your Honor, I was saying soda me. Soda me. I was thirsty. What soda? Coke Zero. You're free to go. Green tea or matcha? I said I'll take a medium coffee, please. I said medium coffee. How do you take it? As fast as possible. I've got a busy day ahead of me. Me, if I was an important guy. Hey, hang on 1 second. I'll take a medium coffee, please. Come on, medium coffee, come on. Hey, just a second. The barista's being a real. What do you put in it? I'm gonna put my freaking complaint in your complaint box unless you get that coffee out here. Toots sweet. You're giving me flashbacks. People who work as a barista. I'm gonna give you a theory. I don't like to hang other people out to dry. I like to be the person who's hung out to dry and then try to squirm out of it. I'm gonna say that if you worked as a Starbucks barista or a barrister, whatever you choose, drink artist, bartender, I bet like in the 90s to the early 2000s, I bet it was like my impression of Starbucks from that era, as someone who sort of like lived through its ascent, was that it was like a go, this we like steam coming out everywhere. It's like that classically used video of the two dudes at the doo-doo factory who are like wrenching the pipe open, and then like a crane moves another pipe in, and they got their shirts off and they're covered in mud, and like they're being really extra about it. I feel like that's what being a Starbucks barista was like in like 2001. And then in like 2010 to 2015, me personally, I think it was a golden age. People were coming in, they had already ordered on the app, and they were like, where's my coffee? And then they're like, here's your coffee. And they were like, oh, thank you. And they just walked out of the store. And then around the rise of TikTok and the expansion of Starbucks to all corners of the United States of America, I think has probably been a disaster for Starbucks baristas. Now you get entitled people at 7:15 a.m. who are like, where's my chocolate milkshake? I told you I wanted 8 pumps of hazelnut. This only tastes like 6.5, you know? That's just my thoughts. Chibli got a gifted sub. Honestly, I support that. I'm still you have to be very careful as a content creator subscribing to your friends and colleagues with your own money, because it's basically like a recurring lifetime subscription. You never know when someone's gonna like audit your subscriptions and be like, what the hell? I don't think I've unsubscribed from anybody in the history of this website. So you might be like, he's a little thrifty with using the subscriptions, and that's true. But like once I subscribe, it's like a damn penguin, bro. We're mating for life, okay? People don't want to hear it, but it's kind of crazy that like subscriptions and I'm not saying they should raise the price of subscriptions. Hear me out on this one, okay? Because you don't get anything out of them to begin with except for the emotes. But it's kind of crazy that it's been like, 10 years of subscriptions being $5 US. There's lots of other worthless services that have had the audacity to like really increase their prices over that time period. Don't give Twitch any ideas? Bro, have you seen the news? They need some ideas. You know what they need to do? I actually have an insane one. You ready for this? Remove Prime rewards, the gaming rewards you get for being part of Prime, and instead roll them into a redone Twitch Turbo that's a battle pass. So every month, they give you Twitch quests every single day. As you complete the dailies, you level up the Twitch Turbo Battle Pass and it unlocks the Prime Gaming rewards. People would be like, I don't want to watch this fucking website today, but I need to watch at least 60 minutes of a League streamer to get my dailies done. Oh, baby. Don't be mad at me. Be mad because it works, okay? Like, my ass would not be chatting, but if I had the Battle Pass, and for that day, it was like expires in 23 hours, 59 minutes, leave 20 chat messages, I'd be like, okay, fine, here we go. Hey guys, what's he playing today? Anybody have the docket? Lol, +2. Oh. People love ticking off little boxes on the quest list, especially if they get like a little token for it. And then at the end of it, who knows? Like, you just get, like, special emotes or something. I'm actually, now that I'm, like, saying it out loud, I'm stunned they haven't done it already. Instead, it's always, like, you know, it's the end of the year. If you got your Twitch recapped, here's like a little badge for you. They should be releasing the badges like every month. There's 5 new actually good emotes in the Twitch Turbo Battle Pass, and you got to get that thing maxed out to get the emote so you can flex on other people. They'll be like, yo, you got the Keanu Reeves emote, bro. You got the John Wick emote. Yeah. I won like 70 chat royales last season. Bro, how long have you been chatting? Oh, I've been chatting like basically since it came out. I haven't played hard every season, but you know, you just, it adds up over time. People are talking about, because, you know, Twitch is having financial troubles. They're like, maybe they'll remove the Prime sub, or they'll make it so like, if you have Prime, your 1 subscription a month is half off. And I'm like, brother, we're cooked. If that's, we gotta be a little bit more ingenious than that. Free sub with Prime, I'll click that button once a month, no problem. Get $1.75 off your subscription with Prime. I just don't know if I could bring myself to click the button, man. It's not nearly as motivating. I understand why you would do it, but it's not as motivating. That's the thing, is like you got us weaned on the teat, and now you're trying to take the teat away. And people are like, but I like the teat. And I have heard, you know, like so much of it is driven by like interest rates, right? People are like, you know, they're almost like, I feel like they're taking glee in it. They're like, people are finally finding out the true cost of what it would actually take to pay for the world that we were living in from 2013 to 2020. And I'm like, damn, we were living in like financially, like wizard times, like once in a lifetime financial conditions. And that's what we got. It was like 100 live streaming services, increasingly fragmented over and over. Like we didn't go to Mars or anything as a species. Instead, it was like, you know, Uber Eats. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. I would have thought there'd be something like a little bit more transformative than that. We perfected streaming? Kind of, but like, I don't know. For streamers, yeah, but apparently the platform can't make money, even though I say this legitimately. I must be too stupid to understand it, because it doesn't make sense to me that it costs Twitch money to stream video, because they're owned by Amazon, who owns like the gas station. It's like saying your gas is too expensive for my trucking company, and I'm like, brother, you're ESO. Like, what are you talking about? Can't you just charge yourself less for the gas you're using? Like, I know that they're using like infrastructure and electricity and stuff like that, but it doesn't make sense to me. Amazon is one of those things though, where I'm like, that feels like a zero interest rate phenomenon. Like stuff arriving at your house cheaper than it would take for you, cheaper than the price of a store, and they deliver it to your house faster. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. Like for a while you get used to it and you're like, that's just how the world works. But then you really puzzle out the economics of it. You're like, you own a guy, well, you own the guy's time, you own a truck, and then he's like really driving 10 kilometers out of his way to bring me like a little box with an electric razor in it. And it's $5 cheaper than if I drove myself to the store and got it from Canadian Tire. Like that's fraudulent. It simply doesn't make sense. Everyone's saying I'm right, which means I must be wrong. When the whole internet agrees with you, you should start looking for a way out. I do think though that I would use Amazon for delivery a lot more if they had a service where they took care of the cardboard for me. Why don't you just give it to your cats? Because we fucking ordered like more than one thing a decade on Amazon. My whole house would just be cardboard boxes, bro. So I can't get around any of the damn residential streets because everybody's got their cars parked in front of their houses. And I'm like, why don't you use your garage? And they're like, oh, it's full of trash. Fucking get on it, bro. Or like, yeah, dissolvable cardboard. I mean, I just throw mine in the fireplace, so it's no big deal. But I just think that like when people are like, why don't you just like use your kid would love to play with the cardboard. I'm like, Are you denying? Like, if you work in the cardboard production industry, I bet you're living in a golden age right now, and you're probably going to say fuck me for outing you. You know how the rate of cardboard box usage in our society has gone up like 100x in the last 10 years? We got too much cardboard, bro. You don't have a cardboard recycling bin? I do, but like think of the waste of time that we're doing here. They're going into the forest, they're cutting down a motherfucking tree, they're turning that shit into pulp, they're turning it into paper, they're putting the paper together, making it into cardboard, they're forming it into a box, they're shipping the flattened boxes to Amazon. Amazon's putting like one bag of Ruffles all dressed potato chips into the cardboard box, folding it up, putting tape on the box, shipping it to my house in like a half diesel, half electric vehicle. As soon as it gets to my house, I'm like, rip. I undo all of the work that they just did. I put it in my cardboard recycling box. Another truck comes and picks up the cardboard, takes it to the recycling facility where I'm pretty sure they break that shit back down into pulp. It doesn't make any sense, man. It's all made up. It's all fake. I think this whole Amazon phenomenon is perpetuated by one dude with a cardboard box factory and a damn dream. Can I use your takes and pretend they're my opinion? Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I would feel worse if you gave me credit. Like, imagine guy who watched the H-Bomber guy video on plagiarism and now exhaustively credits all of his sources every time he references something in conversation. That's not a knock on H-Bomber guy. It's a knock on the person I made up in my head. Oh, man. Me talking to people. So women really like sushi a lot, right? You have to go at it more delicately, okay? I will say, though, on Friday we had pizza. I don't believe we had any sushi this weekend. For my wife's birthday dinner, we had steak. For her birthday lunch, we had a high tea. And I understand that people are gonna make a joke about testosterone, but you should really be making a joke about British cuisine. That's where I would go with that one, at least. I had never had high tea before. It was interesting to experience cuisine from, I don't even want to call it another culture, like another economic strata. I mean, I don't know who's consuming like high tea on the regular, but there was some stuff I enjoyed about the experience of high tea, and there was some stuff that I was kind of like 50-50 on, but it was nice to experience. I liked the scones. That was good. I didn't like, honestly, the finger sandwiches, I thought I would like them more than I did. The cucumber sandwich with the crust cut off, I was like, I love cucumber, I love cream cheese, I love bread, how can I not like this? And I did like it, but when I was eating it, I was kind of like, they really, like, the British Empire lasted for like 1,000 years, and we're out here eating like cream cheese sandwich. They didn't invent like a special condiment or something for this. It's just like, it was exactly okay, I would say. And then like, I don't know what else was on it. There was like some tarts, some macarons and stuff like that. I wasn't against it, but it was fun to eat. It came on like a tall tower, and as you finish one section, you could like pull that part off and then move on to the lower section. It was a little bit like that Netflix show, The Platform. I said a little bit. I would say the keg clears it though. Just my 2 cents. I'm a food scientist. I have you on when I'm working in my lab. As a food scientist, can you give your take on the McDouble being the best tasting hamburger in North America? Or at least 95, better than 95% of other hamburgers. Maybe not the best. Can you stop shilling McDonald's? If my goat ever ends up washed, then sure, you have my word. McDonald's hella washed? No. Not even close. I do wonder sometimes with McDonald's, though. There are times when I'm like, why do you keep releasing new products? You've already got, like, stop drilling. You hit oil. I guess maybe it's a product of frequency. I'm not at McDonald's that often where I'm like, I'm going to try that new thing. Anytime I go there and they're like, check it out, we got a hot honey McCrispy. I'm like, that's good for you? I'm sure it tastes good because everything at this restaurant does. But give me a 10-piece chicken McNuggets, fries, and a Coke Zero. I'm not going to the suit store and buying, potato chips. I'm not going to the gas station and going, how's your life insurance policy? 20-piece nuggets because it's cheaper than 10. It's one of the most insane things I've ever heard. What do you mean it's cheaper than 10? It is? No, it's not. It doesn't make any sense. It is per unit. Me explaining to the doctor why I just had my 3rd heart attack. Bro, I had to maximize the per unit cost of the nuggets. So I buy the 1,000 pack of nuggets, and then what am I going to do? Not eat the nuggets? No, obviously you don't get the 50 pack. That would be insane. You get the 20 pack. Yeah. The fries are a grift. Me, when something tastes good, but there's only $1.37 worth of ingredients, and the cost of it is $2.99. I'm just gonna level with you, bro. Some people are like, I make better fries at home. I've been to your house. Why are you telling lies? You're not making better fries than McDonald's at home. They might not be your favorite fries on the planet. They're probably my favorite fries on the planet. You're not clearing them in your home kitchen. I'm sorry. You are not J. Kenji Lopez Alt. You might be using the recipe, but I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying you don't. Don't even get me started. My wife and I, we were talking shit about you guys all weekend. Motherfuckers eat kimchi 2 times and then go, 5,000 years of tradition? Yeah, sure, I can make that at home. Your ass is not getting out the tarp and putting cabbage on it and then rubbing herbs and spices into it. Your ass is putting like a little bit of cabbage into a jar with red wine vinegar. Then you pop it open like an hour later and go, yeah, this is better. This is definitely better than the kimchi we had at the restaurant. You fucking so-and-sos. It's a reused bit because people keep saying the same ignorant stuff, bro. Dude, you just get the Bibigo mix? That's what I'm saying, man. These fools don't know about Bibigo. Bibigo, well, you sample around until you find the kimchi that you want. Some kimchi comes out of the jar a little, I would almost call it over-fermented. I've said it many times, I like a newer kimchi, a kimchi that hasn't fermented for all that long. Still has a little sourness, but it's got that fizz to it too. It needs a little bit of it needs a crispness to it. When kimchi gets a little too old, it's got a little bit less of that crisp bite. But when you lose the fizz, I mean, that's when the curds don't squeak. That's fine, but don't say your homemade poutine is clearing New York fries if the curds don't squeak, okay? They always want to come, but they never want to leave. I know that song. That's X's and O's by L. King. It's not some lady. That's B.B. King's daughter. Rob Schneider's kid? What are you talking? Wait, is this real, Chad? Yes, it's Rob Schneider's daughter. Rob Schneider's married to B.B. King? Honestly, that makes me sympathize a little bit with Rob, because B.B. King's always on the road, right? B.B. King died? Wait, when? Really? -2, strange bit? You got me all backwards. I didn't know that he was dead. Like 2015? And you didn't tell me? That's honestly, you guys are fucked up for not telling me that. Bro was born in 1925. So was Gene Hackman, and yet he's still kicking. It's sick that he worked until he was like 80 years old, and then he's lived like another 13 years after that. I mean, sick in a good way, by the way. If he dies soon, the blood is on your hands. He's 94 years old. The blood's not on my hands. He's 94, man. Gene Hackman must live at least till the end of January. I would like it if he lived as long as he wanted to, for the record. I'm not rooting for his downfall, but if something happens, people are going to say that it was my 3-star review of The French Connection that did it. And honestly, I will not be silenced of my honest opinion on films just because of the consequences of my actions, okay? 3 stars? Yes! I said I respected what French Connection has done in terms of its influence, but seeing it for the first time in 2024 is a few notable scenes punctuated by quite a lot of boredom and a deliberately unsatisfying conclusion that in time I have actually come to respect a little bit, because I think it actually is in keeping with the themes of the film. As much as in the moment, my brain was like, I want to see like a big fight or something like that. The way that it ends is actually perfectly appropriate given the rest of the film. That being said, it just didn't get the blood pumping as much as Ridley Scott's The Last Duel. But I also think it's one of those things, maybe you had to be there. Maybe if you were around in 1971, this shit'll like blow your mind. I don't know, are kids these days still getting zooted the first time they see The Matrix? If you're 12 years old in 2024 and you see The Matrix, are you still, you know, pretending to do Kung Fu versus Morpheus? Or are you like, I've seen all this shit in Alita Battle Angel. It's not that interesting. Now, The Matrix still goes insane? Alright, good. Then there's still a chance for you guys. I've seen all this shit of Fortnite. Favorite movie pre-Godfather, and it can't be 12 Angry Men? Ketchup doesn't exist and you can't kill yourself. What are you putting on this? It's a VCR? Pre-Godfather? I genuinely... Okay, I'm trying to think of like the oldest movies that I don't pretend to like. I actually enjoyed watching them when I watched them. Definitely 2001: A Space Odyssey. Definitely The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Trying to think of what else. There are definitely some. Rashomon? I have to see some Kurosawa films. I have to see some Japanese movies in general. Bionicle? I haven't seen that one. Is that based on the Murakami novel? Push by Sapphire? We'll be donating. Have you seen Woman in the Dunes? This is insane. I have not seen Woman in the Dunes, but I have read the book. How did such a thing come to pass? When my wife was in university, she took a Japanese literature class. And one time, you want the ultimate wife guy answer here? One time, she was like, I'm too busy to do this assignment. Can you do it for me? And I read the whole fucking book and wrote the whole fucking essay. Or wrote the whole fucking essay. And then I thought Woman in the Dunes was a good book to begin with. I got like a B- on the essay. At the time, I was a little pissed because I put in a lot of work for this. But over time, I've come to realize it's actually pretty good considering I wasn't in the fucking class. Considering all I did was read the book and then write the essay. Like, my ass did not go to any of the lectures or know what the teacher was looking for in any capacity. None of the feedback from earlier assignments could have possibly helped me because I wasn't involved in their creation. Like, kind of sick, right? Basically what I'm saying is I still got it. Or at least I did back then. That's crazy behavior. You know what's crazy, though, is that we're married and we have a kid now. So, carry her books. Do her homework. It will work for you. Get it twisted. It worked for me. Watch her pets while she goes on vacation with her boyfriend. One day there will be an opening. You can sneak in there. I'm just messing with you. You probably cooked. Oh, man. No. I mean, I had that exact same experience. Like, I know you're going to be like, yeah, you just told us about it. But no, like, in that situation, you know, we had already been going out for a while. I was holding it down. They definitely had that classic, like, I was going to call it like a mid-2000s, I'm going to stay her friend. And then eventually, after years of not mentioning that I'm actually like in love with her, I'm gonna just spring it on her and see how that goes. And you know what's crazy? So I sprung it on her. This would be like freshman year of university. And she was like, I don't know how to feel about that. And I was like, in hindsight, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. At the time, I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all. You're supposed to say, I'm in love with you too. I was just shy. But so then, like, that was awkward. And we didn't talk after that for like 8 months. Then sophomore year, she came to my university. We dated for like a year and a half. That was not like a fairy tale ending. We broke up after that, but like, it's just weird. They just can't resist. What can I say? It's hard being this handsome. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it. Did you have hair back then? I did. So I kind of tricked her. I was like, check it out. I got a luscious head of hair. And then like 9 months later, I was like, surprise. This is your view for the rest of your life. It's just funny. I'm not harboring any trauma. She's in the audience right now. Stand up and take a bow. No, that's probably not true. I'm sure she's got other stuff to do. If she knew who you were, you think she'd come crawling back? You need to watch less YouTube, my friend. Or TikTok. Less short-form video content on whatever platform you're watching. You have digested too many videos where a guy is like, hey, toots, and she's like, ew, get away from me. And then he's like, check out this. I got the keys for a damn Lamborghini. And she's like, oh my God. I love you. And then he's like, no, you missed your chance, sweetheart. You should have responded to my cat call. I'm probably 10,000 hours in on YouTube right now. Oh, so you're almost done with the first act? Oh, man. Let me guess. You just discovered video essays. You haven't even gotten to YouTube poops yet. Or the classic video. You guys know Not Today, Motherfucker? Or is that just me?
Not today, motherfucker!
It's very, very old, and it's edited together very amateurishly. It was state of the art in like 2007. It's 10 seconds long, and it's a guy in a forest, and a UFO comes down, and he says, "Not today, motherfucker!" And he pulls out the gun and shoots at it with his gun, and then the UFO explodes. People think that I don't know YouTube, but it's actually like I don't know relatively modern YouTube very well. I know almost all of the old videos. I'm not talking 2010. I'm talking like 08. Back when you could still like keep a grasp, you could be like, I'm gonna watch every video ever made on YouTube. Evolution of dance, shoes, salad fingers, can't stop doing the hand thing. Charlie bit my finger, and that wee wee hood. Nyan cats. Numa. I can't believe you've done this. Oh yeah, the end of the world. But I am tired. I'm a cat. I'm a kitty cat. Badger, mushroom, etc., etc. Isn't it crazy? Most of these are NFTs now. I mean, brother, no disrespect. What would you do? If you were famous for like a one-off video that happened like, 17 years ago, before ad revenue was even a thing on YouTube, my ass would be putting that shit on the blockchain too and then fucking off back to my normal life. How are you supposed to sell out? They're famous for like a video where they say like, don't do it. Ah! And you're like, they gave up on their artistic integrity by teaming up with the Solana blockchain. They don't know what's going on, bro. Their ass works in like, risk management or something now. They're 48 years old. Someone emails them and they're like, hey, do you want to make like $5,000? And they're like, for free? Sure. They don't know what's going on. They're from a different era. Oh, man. There's some good stuff. Stop asking me. I wasn't alive when these were made. Used to get a couple of James Ready, well, maybe like a dozen James Ready 5.5s in you. You'd have your friend's laptop would have a plug running from it to like the back of a television that was deeper than it was wide. And you'd say, hey, you know any videos? And then somebody would come over and put on fucking like Alan Letizier best Premier League highlights 1990 to 1996. I am the one and only, ooh, nobody but you. Anyway, and then you'd get into some good stuff after that. Tra-la-la-la-la. It's another classic for sure. Certifiable classic. Then one day I came in and my friend was watching Loose Change, and then in some ways, I never saw him again. You stupid motherfucker. We had a good thing going. We would get drunk on buck of beers and watch YouTube videos that made us laugh. It worked. It was perfect. Then you had to go and ruin it by getting into conspiracy theories. Losing a friend to conspiracies is worse than losing one to drugs. I think usually it's getting too real. No, it's not, because, like, you know, nobody's overdosing on conspiracy theories. But also, I do try to remember sometimes, because every once in a while, you'll see something on Twitter that just, you're like, this person's brain is cooked. And then when you think about it literally, I'm not just saying someone who disagrees with me. I'm saying like the people who think that they're using weather machines to make it snow in Iowa in January so that people don't come out to the Republican caucus. Like that, your brain is cooked, no disrespect. I have to remind myself that their brain is actually cooked. Like in a sympathetic way. I don't mean this as like punching down. There's people out there that, you know, got traumatic brain injuries and never came back the same, or they, you know, got fried on some substances for too much or for too long, and you just can't come back like to the same soul that you left. So in a way, you're like, you're dumb. But there is another one that's like, you know, when I can muster the energy to be the bigger man, I'm like, I see you and I hear you. I hear like I mean, this is patronizing, but I see like the you inside of yourself who's like, let me out of this. I want to get back to like the man I used to be, chaos style. I'm like, I see that guy. I don't know how to get him out because I got my own stuff to do. but I see that guy. I have some degree of empathy for it sometimes. I try to, at least. Because like I got like not close family members, I got like a couple insane members of my family. And then, you know, back when I had Facebook, I would like, you know, look at his Facebook status and I'd be like, what's wrong with this guy? And then I would remember like the history of his life and I would be like, oh yeah. Like lots of stuff. And here they are today. Yeah, they're in the audience. Stand up, Uncle Greg. I tried to stand up, but Joe Biden stole my knees. Ah, that's classic Uncle Greg. He thinks the president stole his knees. Please do not ask him for his opinions on anything. That's as politically correct as it gets. I'm like, bro, Joe Biden doesn't even know you, dude. Don't flatter yourself. Joe Biden would be like, sorry to this man. I apologize to this man, but I don't know who he is. I've never seen this man before in my life. I still remember, and I apologize to nobody but Librarian. Librarian, I apologize because I'm sure you remember this bit. You know, like as a kid, little jokes or little moments that happen, like you don't realize that you're going to remember them forever. I'm not even talking about like trauma. I'm talking about things that are just like, your brain is like, oh yeah, store that one. It's messed up you don't apologize to me. Origin. We're even, okay? There's no need for apologies either way, but we're even, okay? One thing that I'm always surprised that I've kept with me for like 25 years at this point is I remember we drove to the video store and my coming out of the video store was the dad of someone I played on the same softball team as. So because I grew up in a small town, my parents are making conversation. And then I remember that he said, hey, make sure you guys get excited. Payback with Mel Gibson just came out. And then my dad was like, oh, really? Is it good? And then the dude said, yeah, but they don't have it. I just remembered, like, he knew what he was doing. He walked my dad, like, straight into a comedic trap. And I don't know, maybe there's an inspiration in that for me. Maybe the fact that I've remembered that says something about who I've chosen to be in my life. I said that shit's, I'm never gonna get humiliated like my dad got humiliated. I saw what happens when a man loses all of his self-respect outside of a jumbo video. And I said, that's never gonna happen to me. Can I be honest with you? This is a question for the women in the chat. I apologize for being like heteronormative with this. Yesterday at the steakhouse, my steak came with the beef, twice baked potato, broccoli, beets, and sauteed mushrooms. Am I correct in the assumption, and different people are different, am I correct in the assumption that one surefire way to give a grown-up woman the ick is by eating your steak and your potato, but not eating any of the vegetables that are served to you on your plate? Like just giving the waiter back a completely clean plate, but all of the vegetables are completely untouched? Holy cow, I'm so sorry. I expected to be the bad guy and people were gonna be like, no, eat whatever you want, but everybody's saying yes. I would not have proposed the bit if I knew it was gonna be a unanimous consensus like that. Now I just feel bad, man. What the fuck? I didn't mean it to be. Oh no. You did that? No, I ate the vegetables, bro. But when I was eating the vegetables, I was like, I'm eating the vegetables. She's not gonna get the ick. I mean, when I ate the broccoli, I was like, this is delicious. But when I was eating the beets, I was like, this is just for ick prevention. I'm a grown man. I can't be afraid of like, ooh, the food in my mouth makes my brain feel slightly yucky. You know, like he will not divide us. When's the last time you gave your wife the ick? I probably do it like 10 times a week, if I had to guess. I think it's naive to assume you could ever live in ickless world. Misspeaking because I've been hanging out with my daughter all the time and saying, I'll be right back, I need to go potty. Like, I think that's one that can definitely ick someone up. It's an understandable mistake, but at the same time, to be loved is to be icked. Probably the other thing, me being 35 years old and still running up the stairs as fast as I can. I mean, that is juvenile behavior. That's gotta be given the ick. Like, she's upstairs, you know, drinking a tea or something like that, and then she hears like, tick, 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 tick. I'm like pumping my arms. Like, like I'm 35 years old, man. But here's the thing. All that stuff when I did it when I was a kid, and I was like, why don't you do that? They're like, don't worry, you're gonna grow out of it. And like some of that shit I grew out of, but some of that's baked in, low and slow. I speed crawl up the stairs to this day. It's so funny. I'm not acting like I'm better than you. I'm tick, 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 tick. And then like the worst part is it makes no sense to run up the stairs because I do fall down the stairs as a result of running up them at least like once every 2 years. And then every time it happens, I'm like, I'm gonna stop running up the stairs from this point onwards. And then I get in a rush at some point and I'm like, I'm running up the stairs, and then I just, you know, it becomes a habit again, and then 2 years later, we have a large, it's a 10-story tall spiral staircase. Whatever, I got hit after the room. Again, I can only speak from my own experience. I don't mean this to reinforce heteronormative narratives. But to some extent, women don't understand the power that their words can have. We went to the mall yesterday. I got my wife something for her birthday. And then I had to get some nice clothes as well, because we got some important stuff coming up this week. I didn't go there to get a winter coat, okay? My wife went to look at some clothes. She came back with a coat and said, I want you to try this on. I tried it on. She went, whoa, you look so cute in that. Guess who left the store with a winter coat? It does something in your brain. I was like, I don't need a winter coat. But that response is like, there's no shot I'm not getting this coat after that. What does that have to do with heteronormative narratives? Listen, I'm just trying to avoid controversy after you tried to cancel my daughter for saying, like, I'm not allowed to play with number blocks because those are girl toys, okay? I'm just trying to avoid stepping on any toes. So it's illegal to be straight now? Not yet, brother. I was kind of, you know what? Chibli did a census of his chat, and his chat was like, there's something like 71% gay or bi or lesbian, and then like 28% straight. Which means I'm finally in a position to start calling your asses out. So if you're going to be like, you know, oh, me and my boyfriend were hanging out at the coffee shop the other day, I'd be like, oh, okay, sorry, not all of us. Some of us are straight. Can you please make this commentary a little bit more accessible to me? Some of us are out here sitting on the couch with their wife, both looking at their phone, looking at different things, and occasionally showing it to the other person and going, did you see this? It was 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. I'm fucking stupid. What's the third? My ass was born in 1988. Help me. Giga gay? Oh, dude, a secret. They didn't tell me about that one. You guys have been trying to keep that under wraps for so long. I gotta tell all my straight friends. Guys. He do be puking. Guys, did you hear about this giga gay thing? I guess it makes sense. All the straight people are too busy watching The Office. Am I right? I mean, it's so silly. The Office, man. Come on. Oh, anyway, my wife and I have been watching a little bit of The Office while we eat dinner sometimes. We're going to stop, I don't know, maybe like season 5, season 6. I know where it goes. I will say, my wife and I, we were on the couch. I was waiting to pick up my daughter from an activity. And my wife was scrolling through Instagram shorts. And I don't watch like any short form content online. I didn't know like the state of short form content. I didn't realize how many channels out there are making it big. Just like literally reposting scenes from movies with no context whatsoever. Just like, hey, this scene from this movie really makes you think, completely ripped out of its original habitat. So there's a movie where Adrian Brody is like a teacher in a bad school, right? Like the kids are fighting and there's crime and there's violence. But she's scrolling through Instagram shorts, and then she scrolls like up one, and then there's just a kid, like, I don't know, he's like 13 years old, says, "You're fucking gay," and then everyone starts laughing, and I was like, what is this? I'm like, this Instagram short, I mean, I'm sure it's on every platform, but I was like, what's going on? The kid was bullying another kid, and then he kicks him out of the class, and then Adrian Brody's like, everybody get out a piece of paper. I want you to write down what you want your family member to say at your funeral. And then one of the kids is like, hey, yo, what if I don't have any paper? And then Adrian Brody ignores him, and he goes, I asked you a question, bro. I don't have paper. And then the kid gets up and like takes the teacher's bag and throws it out of the room. And the teacher goes, that bag doesn't have feelings. And then the clip just cuts. It's like it completely, there's no message in it whatsoever. There was no moral. It was just over. That's detachment from 2011. I'm going to put that in the Cine Nerdle in the hopper. Hello, Daniel. Thank you for the raid. We're talking about cinema right now. I was saying watching movies on the bike has me appreciating cinema more because you never look away from the screen. Whereas if you watch a movie at home, you might, I'm going to do the dishes while I watch it. You can't help but be a little distracted. Maybe I'm going to look at my phone at the same time. So Now I'm finding myself getting boomer coded, and like if anybody is seriously just digesting movie clips, you know, like best scene from 100 movies watched sequentially, like you're offending me on some level. Now you may not care about that, which is fine, but I personally, my mental model is not to think of a movie as merely a collection of scenes, you know, where they're each designed to be entertaining in a vacuum, you know, they all build towards something bigger than that, for some stuff at least. You're right, I don't care. Son of a bitch. By the way, great timing. I did watch the first 3 episodes of The Traitors. And I'm very much looking forward to Thursday to watch the next one. I don't want to say anything at all. All I'm going to say is if you are interested in Dan Giesling, he's available, or he's in a show right now that's coming out on Peacock, or if you're in Canada, on Crave. First 3 episodes are out. Subsequent episodes available every Thursday. I will say, though, there's some shit on The Traitors that almost brings up, like, Among Us PTSD for me. Like, in the first episode, or I guess the second episode, somebody literally misspeaks the way that everybody does constantly, every day. And they go like, well, if I wasn't a traitor, and then everyone goes, hey! Hey! You let the mask slip. And then she's like, I didn't mean, I meant to say if I was a traitor. And they're like, nice try. But every time anyone ever trips over their words, it necessarily reveals their most deep, dark secrets. And then they're at the like elimination, and they're like, well, she said she was a traitor. And she's like, I literally misspoke. And they're like, well, that's what a traitor would say. They fucking send her to the chokey, bro. Just because she like tripped over her words a little bit. Everybody was probably like 10 cocktails deep. It sounds like a nightmare show. It's great for like, full stop, it's great. But it's also great if you love watching people get gaslit. Which I don't love watching it because I like to see people suffer. I like watching it because that shit was me every time we played Project Winter. And I'm like, finally, other people understand. It's not just me. There's dozens of us. Yeah, the one dude is like, you know, they're picking the traitors, and the lady is like, you started to breathe really heavy when the host walked behind you. Did he tap you on the shoulder? And he's like, no, I'm a little asthmatic. And then later, he's jogging because they're all running. And she's like, hey, I can't breathe. Are you sure you don't have an inhaler? And he's like, sorry, love, I don't have an inhaler. And then she's like, well, if you have asthma, why don't you have an inhaler? And he's like, well, I was like a kid when I had asthma. I don't have asthma anymore. And it's just a one-off comment you made like at dinner one night. And then she's like, your job as a politician is to lie. And I'm like, okay, lady, a broken clock is right twice a day. Like, to be that as it may, that doesn't mean this man's a traitor. You really think the producers would pick the oldest man on the show and be like, let's put this guy in a starring role? Come on. No disrespect, but they know that shit's going nowhere. It's just like a bad production decision in that case. I was pissed on his behalf, though. I don't know John Burkrow or, like, you know, what he's done. He's a British politician, so I'm just starting with the assumption this is probably nothing good. I'm sorry, it would be the same no matter where he was from, probably. But anyway. I gotta go to bat for him because this shit is infuriating when you think you're having a casual conversation. People tell lies all the time in conversation. Yeah, this food is really, really good. Yeah, no, like it looks amazing. Where did you get it done? And then all of a sudden, like all those little white lies that lubricate conversation so we can all like get along, it comes back to bite you in the ass. You said you loved my broccoli cheddar soup, and then at dinner you said, I don't really like broccoli. Like, you must be a traitor. No, he was trying to avoid hurting your feelings. You're the one who accused him of being a traitor because he's breathing too heavy. The dude is like 71 years old. Then they spend all this time, like, you know, railing on each other for these things that don't even make sense. And then when they eliminate someone and they're not a traitor, they all go cry. They're like, I've literally killed a person. I'm like, no, you're just a little crazy. But the dude who was crying because someone got eliminated, but then like at the round table, he was like, listen, if you don't think for yourself, You're liable to be led around by your leash like a dog. And everyone was like, I don't want to be a dog. I'm going to vote for whoever this guy tells me. And then they vote for that person and they're not a traitor. And he's like in tears. And he's like, what have I done? And you're like, that's the game, man. Like you put nuts on the table and then your nuts got chopped off. There's no tears. You're the one who put your nuts up there. I just like the thing that annoys me in a enjoyable way about the show is when someone stutters a little bit and everyone's like, that's an admission of guilt. It's so like grade school NLSS core accusations. Oh, really? You got accused of something you didn't do and then you misspoke because you got angry about it? A little sus. If I was wrongfully accused of something, I would simply maintain my rational and calm demeanor and respond in an appropriate fashion. I would say, I did not do that. Yeah, me when Will Smith keeps asking me, did I murder that guy? No, bro. Oh, but the robot got angry. Yeah, you accused me of murder, dude. I'm a robot. I did not murder him. How many times do I have to tell you? And then, you know what's fucked up is that even to this day, there's people watching this that are like, but he did murder him. No, he fucking didn't. You need to go watch the movie. You're gaslighting Sonny yet again. Sonny did not murder that guy. It was the other guy, the other robot. Oh, double efficacy hanged man. Me when I'm on a long train journey. Do you have a go-to hangman word? It depends if you're trying to have fun or if you're trying to irritate the other person. If you're trying to have fun, just pick something. If you're trying to irritate them, pick jazz. Whenever I was teaching and we would play word games at the end of class, if we had like 3 minutes, I would just write up, you know, like melon or something like that. If we had 15 minutes, best of luck to you, class full of Korean 9-year-olds. The word is jazz. The kids are in tears. Teacher, there's no more letters. Actually, Sally, there are. There's a couple more letters you haven't guessed. Teacher, V? Me drawing like another foot on the hanged man. This is like foot number 7. Korean student named Sally. POV, you have never stepped foot inside of an ESL classroom. The kids in English class use English names, which is fucked up and makes no sense. And the English names are also given by their first English teacher. So every class has like 12 Sallys, Sarahs, Jessicas, Alan, Sam. There's a lot of repeats for sure. We did that in Spanish class. It would, even in 2011, I was like, this is a little fucked up. Can't we just call them by like their actual name? But the principal was like, no. I'm like, they don't need an English name. Their English name is just their Korean name pronounced badly by me. Like, that's their English name. It's not like when I went to Korea, they were like, this isn't Ryan teacher anymore. This is... I can do this. This is Chan Wook, you know? They were like, this is Ryan teacher. They should do that? Well, that would be fair in a King Solomon-esque context. I just feel like it's weird, right? Like if my ass studied in Korea, like if I went to Korea University, I'm not going to show up the day one of class and be like, hi, my name's like G-Dragon, you know? It's your name. In a way, like it's insulting to the person to get renamed, but it's also insulting to me. I know there's a stereotype that like, you know, North Americans can't pronounce foreign names. Wait, now that I think about it, that's pretty true. Okay, maybe they were onto something. I was like, that's only old people. And then I was like, nah, I do say names wrong in Cine Tu Nerdle quite a lot. I'm not saying you have to support La Cosa Nostra, but I do think one of those funny stories is that I can't remember if it was Illinois or New Jersey, but the mafia was running the numbers racket, and the state went to the police and was like, you have to shut this mafia numbers racket down because we can't compete with their margins with the state lottery. The mafia was running like a more benevolent lottery than the government, and they said, we can't have that. Of all the ways to be addicted to gambling, the lottery is like the best, right? Because it's the least fun. Ergo, you know the people doing it are actually in it for the love of the game. And also, the proceeds go to, like, public programs. I reject the question. Don't be a puss. Come on. Get in the mud with me. It's the worst. How could it be worse than FanDuel, where the money is all being siphoned out to, like, a public company? It's probably headquartered somewhere in the Cayman Islands. At least when you gamble with, like, you know, Lotto 649, that shit's going to the government of Ontario. I think it's kind of just like you're paying, like, an advance on your taxes. I don't play the lottery. I don't gamble at all. If I did, I would definitely gamble on sports, because that seems fun, which is why I won't do it, because it's bad for you. I wouldn't play the lottery. The lottery just seems boring. You got to go, what, like, buy a newspaper every day just to see if a random number generator selected you to be like one of God's chosen children? That doesn't sound fun. That's why the lottery is based. They're not tricking people into it with Rob Gronkowski's, you know, super kick 2.0. They're just like, if you're going to do it, just do it with us. You read that article about gambling being a social tax on Gen Z? I didn't, but I think it's my thoughts on gambling are well known. It's gotten to the point where I actually feel bad talking about it, because I feel like most people are like, yeah, I know. You know, like in college when everybody's binge drinking and you guys are like, this is awesome. And then you like meet one of your college friends at like age 23 and he drinks like 22 beers and you're like, oh, the consequences of our actions. It's like, it's not funny anymore. It's real, but it's not funny. Hey, Tomo. Can I pick you up? No? Okay. Fine. Why you say fuck me for? Look at this. Everybody's having a good time. It's January. dlguiga's +2ing librarian. Tomo loves being on camera. Everybody's getting along. When you were born, they looked at you and said, what a good boy, what a smart boy, what a pretty boy. And when you were born, they looked at you. He does look haunted. Tomo, you would think he's seen some stuff, but I think it's just straight out of the factory with those peepers. Tomo is like Ryuka is like arithmetic, and Tomo is like calculus. Tomo doesn't have any, I don't mean this to be rude. There's no area under the graph. You only know the rate of change. If he's feeling good, he's off the walls. If he's feeling bad, he's like laying down. Ryuka has like memories that he uses to influence the way that he behaves. Tomo is like pure response to the environment. He's kinetic. You never know what's going to happen. He's unpredictable. He gets the party started. Ryuka's a little sneaky, a little devious, but he's got these like patterns and recognition and habits that he's built consciously himself. Am I right? We don't see Ryuka anymore because he stays with Kate like all day. Which is why probably Tomo is here all the time. Because they only like each other at dinner time. When we got them, we thought that they would be friends. They really are kind of like roommates. More than it. And that's fine. They can both, they're still enjoying their lives. But they're kind of like ships in the night, and then occasionally they have like a conflict, and then they're like, okay, house meeting at the incredibly gross smelling wet food that came straight out of a room temperature can. And they hash it out. Tomo gets bullied, but he also like deserves it. Ryuka openly bullies Tomo, but Tomo sneakily bullies Ryuka. Like he will, when we're asleep, he will like sneak up behind Ryuka and bite him on the ear and stuff like that. But then, like, once every like 5 or 6 days, Ryuka just snaps and chases him down and like pins him down on the ground. And then their ears just go back and they're both like, and then it's like all the energy comes out like all at once. Kate is live, by the way. We're so back that it's Jover. I will see you tomorrow for some streaming. Enjoy your evening, your afternoon, your morning, twilight, breaking dawn. Good sleep.
A note becomes a chord, becomes a phrase, becomes a melody, and a note becomes a monster. Everything here is alive.